so close. You know, it was. Here's I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Here's what I saw.
Yeah.
When you guys came out, you looked huge. I was like, damn, that's a good Steve Kuclo right there. Was it the most conditioned Kuclo? Probably not, but it was probably the best combination of a little bit of both. Sure. Size, fullness, because I know you, when you're really conditioned, I know you to be a little flat on the chest.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I battle with, you know, as a big dude.
Yeah. So, and this time you had that, it was almost that perfect combination.
Yeah.
And then, and Ian looked better than in, was it the Chicago Pro or the Tampa Pro, whatever show he won.
Yeah.
And, but it was a battle, and now what do you go for? And I usually, you know, I would say, you know, if it's so close, you usually go for size. You know, the bigger guys, a bigger guy would always win. And I think I thought you looked better at prejudging.
Okay.
When you came back at night, it just looked like you weren't as sharp as you were for prejudging. I don't know if that's what really happened, or if it's just that Ian just got a little bit better.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He was still great. Don't get me wrong, but I thought that finals decided for them what you know, who's going to come out on top. Even though I saw the scorecards and they said he was ahead by 1 point, I knew that it was like this. And they literally said, you know, let them work for it.
I mean, we worked. There's no doubt they worked the shit out of us.
At prejudging, when they called you guys in the last call outs, because there was a few comparisons.
Yeah.
Ian faded.
Yeah.
He literally lost. I mean, I don't want to say he faded. It's maybe his body, but he wasn't able to hold the poses anymore. So he was at a point was like, here, there you go. That decided who's going to get out. You know, it gets out on top, and that's what I thought. So I know it's a tough pill to swallow because this was the last chance for you to qualify, unless you win the Arnold.
Well, we figured out a good combo, I think, like you said, with the fullness and size for this last show, and I think if we bring a little bit more crisp look,
right,
I think the combo of that, I think could be a real deadly combo for the next show.
Yeah. Overall, you can be really happy with what you brought to the stage because you definitely didn't disappoint. I mean, that was a good package.
Thank you.
Because you haven't been on stage since, what, was it beginning of 2020?
Yep.
So that's like a year and a half.
Right.
So, you know, and we know at our age, you know, you stay away for that long, you know, you can get a little rusty here and there.
Right,
you know?
right.
But I think I think you benefited from the time off, and it really showed. It really showed.
Yeah, our body felt fresh. You know, that's something that, like Columbo said. He goes, man, you look like a fresh look. Like, it wasn't like, man, you're just hammering away show after show after show.
Right.
So it's the way I felt, for sure.
No, you definitely looked like that. It was a great look. When you came out, I was like, fuck, I didn't know. And you said you were 290?
Yeah. I was 291 Thursday before the show, and then we were about 288 Friday night. And so we kind of held close to that, 280, you know, between 285 and 288. So we were.
That's a lot of weight, man. How much weight? Compare that to 2020, the Arnold.
It's about 5 pounds heavier.
Oh, so you were like 280 at the Arnold too?
Yeah.
You always been this heavy?
No, it's my weight just kind of creeped up the last few years because I haven't played the let's get huge off-season game. I've been, you know, I still train, eat good, but I let my body kind of just take a little break. And then when I get into prep, you know, we get on the gas and my body grows. Mm-hmm. So kind of like the old Levrone way of doing it, I guess.
Right. So you grow into a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it makes sense. That's what I used to do the last couple of years. I just stopped everything all year and just let the body do whatever you wanted to do. I still ate clean, you know, I trained. Yeah. But
exactly.
It wasn't like I'm putting any unnecessary stress on my system.
Right.
And then I started like prepping with like 260. Mm-hmm. And then I would go up to like 285. Yeah. And then I come back down to 260. So
a totally different look at 260.
Yeah, a totally different 260. Or even less sometimes, you know. So yeah, that absolutely works. So when you look back at the show now, I mean, you had a couple of days, so you probably watched videos and stuff. What do you see? Where did you think the judges had it wrong? Do you think that you deserve to win? What's your opinion, honest opinion on last weekend?
I can't take away anything from Ian and Phil because I thought they looked fantastic.
Yeah.
They brought, I think it was probably Ian's best package to date, and it was probably Phil's best package.
Absolutely,
Both
yeah.
looked great. Even the round out the top five, those between Hassan and I mean everybody looked really good. So. To me, it was a pretty good, deep show, and it wasn't like there's only two guys fighting for it. It wasn't like Ian and I, and that's it. Like,
yeah, no, Phil was in. Phil was in there.
Absolutely. So, I don't walk away feeling like I got beat, if that makes sense. I feel like like you said, it was so close, and in the sport we're in, where it's a judge sport, if they want to go for a little bit more conditioned look for that show particular. They went with it, and it just, if anything, it motivates me and drives me to get even better for the Arnold. And when I make that improvement or make what they want to see at the Arnold, I feel like that's what will make the difference to get me to that top spot at the Arnold. So was it disappointing? Absolutely. I wanted to win in front of my hometown. I had 100+ people there cheering me on, supporting me. We definitely helped pack in that place, and I think the combo of that, first show back, wanting to get the qualification for the O, there's that disappointment factor there, but at the same time, the sport is, man, you got to take your bumps. You got to, if you get knocked down, you got to get back up and come back stronger. Did
you ever in the last couple of days look back and said, like, damn, I wish I would have done Tampa or Chicago?
No, not
at all.
No,
because you probably would have walked away with both wins.
I know. Looking back at it, I could say we would have won those shows. But at the same time, I felt like just the way it worked out timeline for myself, this was going to be the show to do. And the shows got kind of mixed up this year. They got pushed later, and so it's just a different year altogether. But I think, I wanted to put all the eggs in that basket. And if anything, it leaves the Arnold. And that's – the Arnold's one of the shows, like I said, I want to really an Arnold title to me would be a pinnacle of my career that I could retire on. That's kind of one of the shows I want to win. So
you're focusing solely on the Arnold right now, and you're going for a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because you need to be on the Olympia stage, man. I mean, the last Olympia was what, 2018, 19?
19.
Sixth place?
Six.
Yeah, come on. You're a top 6 Olympian.
Right.
You need to be on that stage, man. I mean, I kind of, you know what? And I don't even know if this sounds stupid, but I think as close as it was, and that's just me talking.
Yeah.
Why would they not give it to you when the other person is already qualified?
Right. Or, in the case of it being, he being qualified, does it drop down and just get to the next guy? You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So
that's the thought too.
Somewhat like in the point system. But even when it's this close, it was neck on neck. Now you could have flipped a coin and nobody would have complained.
No, because you look at the comments out there right now, half the people had Ian win, half the people had me win.
Yeah.
So
and there was still people that thought that Phil Kuclo should have won.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could make a case. You could literally make a case for every single one of the guys because Phil was really strong at night.
Yeah.
That dude impressed me the most because I know Phil since the day he turned pro. Mm-hmm. And he came a long way at 47 years old.
That's incredible.
To make those kind of changes from what was the show I saw him before Tampa? What was it before Chicago Pro?
Right.
Yeah, well, he placed 8th or something? I don't know. And then he came to Tampa for the Tampa Pro, and then here he just proved that age is really nothing but a number.
Right.
That's
so true, man. Not for us white dudes, man. By 35, we're ready to pull the plug.
You're ready to give up. Yeah, well, you got a little point there, I think.
what they say, black don't crack.
Black don't crack. Yeah, I had the best of both sides. That was my thing. I had best of both. So
you haven't aged. You one of the guys that just look as good as you did when you competed.
No, trust me, I'm not. I trust me. I can show you some things that wasn't there back then. But I always like to say I got the best of both parts. So here's what I want to ask you. There's a story that I remember years ago because I don't know the story from you. I remember the story from hearing it somewhere. And I think, where was it when we came back from Brazil?
Yeah.
There was one scenario on a plane about a female dying, or did she end up dying? What was the story there, man? Because I really wanted to hear that from you.
That was, that actually was one of those moments in life where you remember forever, like it happened yesterday kind of thing. It was just coming off the Arnold Brazil win, on our way home from Brazil back to Dallas. Is a direct flight, and was sitting up, I think it was in like business class, just kind of hanging out, ready to chill. About an 11-hour flight. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I'm exhausted. Long weekend, had the show. And at the time I was active firefighter medic for the city of Dallas. And so I had all my, current training up to date, everything, and I was still full-time paramedic, which there's a lot of schooling and everything that goes along with that. Mm-hmm. So on the way, we're probably about an hour into the flight. The flight attendant gets on the intercom and says, "Hey, is there any medical professionals on board? We have a person on the flight that's not feeling well." So I'm kind of sitting there and just kind of inner instinct to help people. Yeah, I got up and went and checked her out. And there was another lady that was with us that was like in med school to become a doctor. So we, took her vitals, everything. He got on the phone with like the medical control for the airline. They ended up saying, just, let her, she felt like she had to use the restroom. Her vitals were pretty much normal at the time. Had a little stomach ache, and they just said, get her some water, let her rest. And that's what we end up doing. And then about an hour after that, the flight attendant, I'm kind of back in my seat, chilling, getting ready to fall asleep. And the flight attendant come up to me panicking. She's like, "We need you. Something's wrong." And I was like, okay, so put on the paramedic hat again, go run back to where she's at. And she's unconscious, not breathing. And it was just like, it was that oh shit moment where you're like, okay, this is real deal. We got emergency on our hands. So I picked her up and I literally carried her to the back of the plane where they had kind of more room. And we started CPR, had the flight attendants getting all like the med bags. I was starting an IV. We were pushing all the drugs and everything, doing the full CPR protocol for the lady. And she ended up, we worked her for about 45 minutes, and we ended up landing our plane in Costa Rica, because that was the closest.
Oh, so they didn't.
They don't want to land. They don't want to land a plane if it's in the but.
So there was an emergency landing.
It was emergency landing, yeah. So they direct us, because we're over the rainforest in Brazil at the time,
right?
And then the closest next airport is Costa Rica. So we they end up landing the plane. They get the medical staff that was at the airport there get in, and they check her and they confirm that she was passed at the time. And
she had already died.
Yeah, but like I said, we worked for like 45 minutes, and we did everything we could, and it was a tragic event. Absolutely,
That was. But was she by herself on that plane, or
she had I think it was a husband and a child with her, but fairly young. And there's it's kind of common for a lot of young people in that area to mule drugs.
Okay,
and they'll swallow bags and they bust open and.
So that's what happened.
I think I heard something along those lines.
Yeah, because I remember hearing that too, but I don't. Like I said, I never spoke to you, and I don't really. But that would make sense, though, right?
Yeah. Because everything we did. A young adult, that's very rare for somebody to pass like that. So something was caused. It felt like it caused, that to happen. Something, and So yeah, that was one of those events in life that was like, man, and Sean Ray was on there, and a bunch of people were on that flight.
Yeah. Did the embassy, the airlines, did they kind of reimburse you for the flight for not being able to rest? No, business class is a lot of money.
I wish that maybe like platinum for life or something. But no, they didn't. They
didn't even nothing.
No.
Wow.
They actually, I got a call maybe about 2 years ago, somewhere like that they wanted. There was still some stuff that like in courts that down in Brazil that they wanted to figure out, and they had the American Airlines attorneys calling me, and they're like, "Hey, could you fly to Brazil to testify?" And I'm like,
"Hell no!"
So
yeah, that's a crazy story. Now,
yeah.
Something that I just read today that I didn't even know, bro. I had no clue that you and Amanda.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida. A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Miss Olympia.
Went on Shark Tank,
Yeah,
and actually got picked up.
yeah.
I had no clue. So what's it called? What's it called? Booty Queen Apparel.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that, man. Whose idea was it to go on Shark Tank?
That is, my wife was the hugest fan of Shark Tank. She, we watch as entrepreneurs and young business owners. We were kind of, you love that show. Just felt like it taught you a lot about how to run your business or ideas and numbers and different things. And she sent an email in, and then we, like a few months later, we got a response saying, "Hey, we're very interested," and it started the process of you filling out all the paperwork and sending in. Pretty much everything minus, organs at that point, because they want to know every little bit of you. So we ended up getting on the show, and it was funny. It was actually couldn't have been a better time. So it was filmed literally the week after one of the Olympias I competed in.
Okay.
So I was still tanned. I was super lean. I was
ready to go.
Yeah, you look good. That little post show like kind of fullness and. The little pro tan left over, kind of like I am right now. So they were like, "Holy crap, look at this guy!" But no, we ended up getting on there. Damon John ended up picking us up as a, I guess the shark that endorsed the line, and that's kind of the little gist of overview of what we did.
So what are you guys doing? What is Booty Queen Apparel? What is it exactly?
It's our women's fitness apparel line. So it, kind of like a Gymshark kind of thing or Lululemon. We kind of started a line based off Amanda's organic following, of she was known as the Booty Queen. So we ended up, starting just we kind of did a super small run of things, would sell out, make us some shirts, some leggings, and boom, they'd sell out. So we just grew that over, several years, and it turned into a big operation, having a retail store in a mall and a great online presence. And it taught us a lot about business. COVID really hurt the company. So, we're kind of in a transition on finishing that up and starting some new stuff up. But it definitely was a great learning experience in business and how to run stuff, not coming from a real business background. But
right.
I think that's where the bodybuilding world teaches you a lot about just, hard work and being consistent and dedicated to what you're doing, and good things are going to happen.
So that means you want to switch to something else? You want away from booty apparel, booty queen apparel?
Yeah. We're
are you going to use the ideas or the what you have to learn?
Absolutely. You're going to leverage the customer base we have. We got a great customer base, very loyal. So you learn to kind of use some of that. And
did you guys do something with dropping off packages or delivering packages in person? I remember seeing something.
Yeah, we've had some. Because I do a lot of the back end stuff of the logistics and seeing orders and stuff, and we had an order come in, and I didn't realize it was like an overnight delivery, but it was in Dallas, and I'm like, well, shit. I was like, I missed the overnight cutoff, so I'm just gonna have to go deliver this thing. So I remember I took the package and I went and knocked at this lady's door, and she opened the door, and she was kind of surprised. She's like, I said, hey, I'm Steve with, and here's your order from Booty Queen. She was like, oh my God. So yeah, that's a little custom service we offer.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. That's awesome. What's the new plan? Can you talk about it, or is it still
still in the works?
Still in the works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk about something else then. Kuclo Classic.
Yes, sir.
You're staying busy, And this is what I like. This is what I like about bodybuilders that work on a plan B before they retire from the sport of bodybuilding.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't just have one show. How many shows do you have?
We have three. We have three right now.
Three shows in three. It's all in Texas.
No, we got one in Texas, our Dallas show that we have traditionally every May, and Memorial Weekend is when we have it. That's our big one we've built up. We've done it 6 years now. And then we started the Michigan or the Midwest show. We have it in Michigan. And we do that. We just had that one back that one was in June. So then we got one more, and that's in the Yellowstone Classic. And that one is in October. Yeah. So we kind of got them all over. We're building up the other two. But it's really great to be able to give back to the competitors, put on a show, do the things that you liked at different shows, like the little T-shirts, the giveaways, the bags, the cool trophies, the different, I like doing those little touches, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, I feel the same, and I started mine in 2014, and also branched out not to only Arizona to Germany too, where it's a real successful show. But last year, because of COVID, everybody took a hit, so shows were canceled. I don't know, how is it for you guys now? You guys had the shows back on. Was it back on this year, right? You just had it not too long ago.
Yeah, we actually ended up pulling them off last year. They weren't massive shows by any means, and they weren't money-making, things. But we just wanted to get the other two shows off the ground and get some, just get the people competing that wanted to compete. And they end up being successful in that aspect. Yeah. And this year, it's just a continuation of just trying to grow them,
Yeah. I mean, see, I couldn't even pull it off because there was nothing going on over here. Yeah. And in Germany, still, even this year, October, still, I can't have the show. And it's good for, that you did what you did. You did the show just to get the guys can compete. I wasn't thinking about any making money. It's just get these guys so they can, not prepare and then do a show. I think that's awesome.
Exactly.
Do you use the same team? Your same expedited team when you travel to shows?
I have a Texas team, and then I have the team that does for the other two travel with that.
Oh, you got it made. How many people you got working for you?
At those shows, we have pretty big staffs.
Those are mostly volunteers or people you know.
No, most of them we pay. Like the expediting crew. The Texas has like a couple expediting crews that go to all the shows, so you can hire them, and we do that, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
And then the other shows, the Michigan, the Wyoming, we have some volunteer and some paid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good. That's good for you, man. And of course, you have a great wife, Amanda. Everybody knows Amanda. She's a rock. She's a rock for sure.
Yeah, she's a rock star.
Yeah. And it's good to see that she's the one that initiated the contact with Shark Tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how you make things happen. So, Arnold Classic. We got what?
Arnold
5 weeks, 5.5 weeks?
Yes, sir.
What's the game plan?
Well, I think as you know, I think if you stick on, you still truck on a prep for another 4 or 5 weeks, you're gonna just keep on refining and polishing in the package. And I was just putting together my protocol training with my trainer last night of kind of what we wanted to do. Took some notes from this last prep we just finished up and what felt like what worked and what we can do better. And that's the thing, I think, with a good coach, having a good coach that really pays attention and is to details is, feedback. Like, she asked me some questions, I give her feedback, and she's like, okay, I like that. We're always usually on the same page when it comes to, adjustments to make. With my body in particular, it takes a lot of food to just, to maintain 285, 290 in good shape. It's more, I usually eat more pre-contest than I do off season. So I finished up the show and the last couple of days, and I had some food here and there, but I probably ate less than I normally do, and my weight's down. And I was like 284 yesterday, and I was like, man, okay, we got to get back on the train of eating 6-7 meals a day and start eating again.
Did I hear you say she?
Yeah.
So you work with a female coach?
Yes, sir. You probably know her, Gina Davis. She competed back in early 2000s, IFBB pro bodybuilder, a female bodybuilder.
Yeah, of course. I heard of the name before, but I didn't know that she works with guys.
Yeah, she works.
Well, especially big guys, like 290 pounds on stage guys. I mean, that's not normal.
No, I know.
So you need to tell me about this because I need to hear it. I think it's cool. It's super cool because you put your trust in someone that doesn't have the experience on herself when it comes to being 290 pounds. So how does that work? How did you guys get together? And what made you say, okay, this is the coach that I want to choose? I'm going to go with this woman.
Well, she's based in Oklahoma, which is only maybe 2.5 hours from where I'm at. And she trained a few people around the Dallas area and a few guys that were just local national level guys. And I heard about her training. She's been training people a long time, but it started like getting more competitor based, I guess, in the last 5 years or so. And I took some of the guys she trained were just kind of like average bodybuilders, and she made them look really good. And I said, that's impressive to take a guy that is just a good, physique and making him look really good, dialed in, sharp, conditioned, full, all the things that you want like to present on stage. She did that. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I'd love to sit down with you, talk, game plan about potentially working together. And I've worked with a lot of the coaches in our sport.
Right.
All of them very good and have their own methods, So we sat down. She told me, she's got a background and she went to med school and she had pre-med and been training for so many years, but was an IFBB pro herself. And she had a very impressive physique, but so she put me through a workout, damn near killed me. She beat me up. So she
physically trains you in the gym?
She will. Yes. And she's a no BS kind of, it's not like, you think of, it's a female, she's going to be easy on you and not going to be getting in your face. Like, no, she's cutthroat. And she's got some really cool, gnarly training styles and is very, likes to switch things up a lot every few weeks of training. So I and everything she said and her style very much matched what I feel like I figured out what works for me. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like she was, somebody is doing like a bodybuilder keto style and try this out. Like, I'm like, no, I don't think that shit works for me. So everything that we did, we were very much on the same page. And in the last few years, where I think I've made my most strides, it's been with her. And
so you've been together for quite some time.
Yeah, since she started doing my training in like 2017, 2018.
So there's a female, Gina Davis, tells you what to do in the gym.
Yeah, she does. I hand it off to her and I said, you got the steering wheel here. Because, I kept thinking, I started, replaying the things of what I can do to make myself better. And there's really only, in that equation, it's like you have your diet, which there's only so much you can do with that, whether it's off season or dieting, because you got to start restricting food and all that. You have supplements, and there's only so much that I would really want to do with that. And then the only other really variable that to me was something that I need to change up or try different was training. And I had her at the time. I was working with George Farah for nutrition, and she was doing the training. And then when George was sick at the time, I had Gina just take it all over because she could really match nutritionally what she wanted me to do in the gym with the weights. So that combo really worked out well together. We're pretty conservative on the supplement side. And I mean, that's why I've been able to do it as long as I have, I've been since 18.
I think this is awesome, man. I really think this is awesome. I mean, listen, you don't have to be a man, or you don't have to look like a Mr. Olympia competitor just to motivate someone to get the job done.
Absolutely.
If you have that ability to motivate another person, it doesn't matter how much bigger he is, and I believe that, then I think that's exactly what you need. You need to be able to do what you need to do,
Yeah, absolutely.
But did you get a lot of shit from people for using a female? Did anybody ever, well, you're probably way too big for people to give you shit, but did anybody ever say, hey, you a woman?
I've had a few people say that, kind of like you. You're like, wait, did you say a woman?
Because I didn't know. When you said she, I was like, first I thought it's Amanda.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, she's got a great track record, and it is, I'm kind of like her prize horse that she wants to, just really put all her time and attention in. When it comes, I mean, she trains a lot of local athletes, like I said, but on a big scale, I'm her athlete. So it's nice to kind of be the center of attention of a coach. Every coach I think has one or two people that they really put a lot of their time and attention in.
Yeah, true.
And that kind of attention I didn't have from other coaches before. So that was something nice and a change to have. Yeah. And I think that kind of detail and attention to detail and really keeping track of every little thing I'm doing has made a big difference.
Yeah. I think it's fucking awesome. I can see a woman in the gym training a guy 200, 300.
You can look her up on Instagram. Her G-Force training. I mean, she's a beast. She got girls that freaking out train most dudes.
Yeah, I can see her. I can see her saying, "Come on, man up, bitch." Have you do stuff that you don't want to do. I think that's awesome. Yeah. So did you, when she looked at, was she there? Was she in Texas the weekend?
Yeah. She was there.
What did she tell you? What?
No, we went in game planning. Like we've tried some different looks, and the way my physique works, if I'm flat, it just doesn't pop, and it looks like I'm not in shape. And I may be in great shape, but it's just that my body doesn't have that pop, doesn't get the separation like it should.
You're a little flat, and so
yeah. So, and then we've tried to go like super full look, and then you start having some hard time like with digestion and so much food. It's like, man, that's too much. So we found a good balance of what we wanted to approach this. Like you said, we found a good balance with condition, the size factor, keeping everything tight, and having the fullness to really have a lot of separation. And I felt like we did a great job on the dial-in for this. Just with my body, we really don't deplete me. I think because we deplete for 10 or 12 weeks when we're dieting down anyways. So it just takes so much more to fill back up. So we gradually come down, and then we gradually load over about a week versus try to load in 2 days or 3 days where it's just a ton of food. And it's just like, man, it's too much for the system. So it's, again, that's where the feedback, I give her feedback on things. She takes notes, and she's like, okay, we're going to make some changes and address it and move forward.
So what changes did you make now for the next 5 weeks, let's say?
We're going to, she just sent over my plan this morning, and like I said, her training usually changes about every 2 weeks or sometimes every week. As we went in the last 4 weeks of this prep, like every rep scheme and drop set would change, the amount of drop sets. She's a big high volume training, like cluster set style, A lot of volume, a lot of drop sets, like very limited rest periods. So it's a lot of calorie expenditure. It's a lot of work in there. So I think that has really helped my physique just really kind of get into some conditions that I haven't gotten in before. Just again, going back to the training variable, that was one thing that I wanted to, try something different, and it worked.
So because the way you train is obviously also, it's like, you burn a lot more calories training the way you do right now. So do you back off the cardio a little bit?
As we start getting there and it feels like, she keeps track of like, hey, is my legs, having a hard time staying full? And then if that's the case, we'll pull back cardio a little bit or pull back the volume we're doing on the legs. And just, there's certain things that she definitely, when I send her pictures, she knows to look for that she does a great job making sure that my body's not kind of disappearing because, just like, oh yeah, just keep going, you're good. She's one of those, okay, no, we're going to pull back the reps. We're not going to do as many reps. We're going to pull back the sets. And all that's really helped my physique.
So she's telling you exactly how many reps to do and everything. It's like
Absolutely.
To the T.
To the T. I got the whole program on my phone. I look at it and okay, today we got, chest and
I think it's really cool that you don't have an ego to say, listen, I mean, I know my body.
Yeah.
I know how many reps I need to do. I don't need a girl or a woman tell me how many reps I. That's what I call no ego training.
Yeah, you have to. I think I could be like, I know everything and I don't need anybody to tell me what to do, but I'm the kind of person that you tell me what to do or I'm going to do it. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do it. I've been coached my whole life playing sports, playing football and hockey. So, if you tell me what to do or run through a wall, I'm going to run through the wall. So.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a female or if it's a fat man.
Right.
If it's a person, if it makes sense and if it changes your physique and it's obviously working. Yeah. I would probably, I'm expecting you guys to come into Ohio with the same version, just maybe like a little drier.
Yeah.
That's
the game plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just to be more lethal, and from the front to back. Because when you came out, that's the look you want to bring.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When you came out, you had that first pump, that first, when you do your mandatories, that's the look you got to hold all the way through the show. When after prejudging, were you guys confident?
I was. I felt like we did what we had to do. I mean, you were there. You saw the amount of work that Tyler put us through. I mean, we did the first initial call out. We moved around and did our mandatories. And then we went off, and I was like, I know he's going to call us back out. And when he called just three of us, called Ian, Phil, and I.
Switched you all around.
Everybody went in the middle. So we all took a turn. And that was, in that last one, he goes, you guys all right to do another one?
I knew he was going to do it.
You can't be like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm too tired. Like, you're like, no, shit, let's rock and roll. Yeah. So at that point, you have to keep your heart rate down a little bit because you're getting amped up. I mean, your adrenaline's going and it's, you're up there fighting, battling it out. So to me, it was very, that's part of the getting more stage time and experience of not getting overexcited. Because at one point, like I remember Gina told me and I saw her on the stage, she kind of went like, relax a little bit because I was just so like, let's go,
you were ready.
A little bit amped up. So.
Yeah, but I like that though. I like that. You know, it's kind of like do it like you really mean it. You know, I'm here to win, especially when it's close. You want to be the aggressor. You want to be the one to say, listen, I'm here. I'm ready to do this. Yeah, you don't want to stay back and, and like be the nice guy. They don't miss the nice guy right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's money on the line. We got to put a roof over our head.
So when you look at the lineup, though, when you look at the Arnold lineup, what do you see? Who are the guys that? Because there's potentially 2-3 guys that can walk away with the win, or maybe even 4. Absolutely. Maybe even 4. Who do you think is your biggest competition at the Arnold?
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables? F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on Trifecta.
Now, you know Ian is there.
Ian's there. You look at somebody that's won it before, Bonac, he is. But I think on the field that's going to show up is going to be some monsters there. Like Sergio's a big dude. Ian's a big dude. I'm a big dude. I mean, there's some big frame guys up there, and Bonac structurally is a much smaller guy. So is he going to look like the odd man out when you got 4 monsters up there and then one smaller guy?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting for sure.
It will. I mean, William won the Arnold twice.
Yeah.
So he's a multiple Arnold Classic winner.
Yeah. So to me, he that would be the guy that we got a gun for to knock out on this.
Let's talk about some of the other guys.
Yeah.
Let me throw Sergio in, because Sergio is choosing that show also for a reason. He pulled out of Chicago for some family issues, and he is putting all his baskets in the Arnold too. And what do you see, Sergio? What do you see? What do you think he needs to do in order to be able to beat you?
I think Sergio is a hardworking dude, and I'm a fan of his work ethic. I think his physique has improved every year. I know if he shows up, he's definitely going to be a threat. Mm-hmm. So to me, I just got to make sure I do my homework and I come in dialed in and on point. And I think I could edge him out on a few things. You're
definitely the biggest guy. Without a doubt. I mean, if you come in around 280, 285, you're definitely the biggest guy on that stage.
Yeah. So that to me, that's going to carry me. I feel like my symmetry will carry me just from my structure and the flow of my physique. As I've grown everywhere, I've kept my waist tight, and that's something that is not an easy feat when you're a big frame dude. So,
I know.
Trying to keep that small, and I think those are some of the aspects of my physique that, in a show like the Arnold, where I think they reward more of that physique, could play in my favor.
Yeah. What about Nick Walker?
Nick's a good bodybuilder. He's a ball of muscle, dude. But I know he hasn't really stood next to anybody real good yet. So to me, this will be his first test of how does he stack up against some veteran bodybuilders.
And he's more like Williams' height.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you look at somebody like him and you say, okay, how could I exploit things on somebody like that? How could I, what are the things and poses that I could highlight or try to, really what is his weak points? I think he's a little wide in the waist. So if we're going to, hit some different shots, some ab and thigh type stuff or front double bi, and you got some better symmetry and better flow, like I think there's a case to beat that physique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then we got Rolly, who came Tuesday. He's got beat just twice, and he got beat again this past weekend by Nathan DeAsha. What do you think about Rolly, man? What do you think is happening here?
Rolly's been going at it a long time, and I know when they're overseas and doing their thing in the Middle East there, who knows what they're doing over there?
Yeah.
So,
but when you look at his physique, what do you see is happening? Because to me, it looks like his legs is going, the sweep is going.
I think you have age. You've been doing it for so many years. You stay on the gas hard all the time. Your body's eventually going to be like, hey, I got nothing left. So I'm not sure. I know he's not a spring chicken, but I know he's probably toward the later part of his career. So
can he improve?
He definitely doesn't look like the volumized Rolly that we know, like where he walks out and you're like, that dude looks like a mutant. Like he looks like an alien that's got air pumped in him, but it looks like a healthier look for sure. But to me, it's not the Rolly that could just go dominate shows.
So you wouldn't worry about Rolly at the Arnold?
I'm not saying I'm not going to worry about Rolly, but I'm going to say that it may not be the highest worry.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. No, that's why I'm asking, because he got beat in Tampa. By in Atlanta. In Atlanta, by a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And being being the highest
just didn't
ranked.
quite bring in he struggles with that size condition ratio, and it didn't look like he was quite in the condition he needed to be.
Yeah. Wow. He qualified for the Olympia, though. He got second place in Spain, which qualified. I don't understand. Why would they give this for the top two? And here in the U.S., everybody got to suffer. What's happening?
What's going on with this?
Yeah.
How about the Texas? We got number 2.
Yeah.
The first one's qualified. I mean, I'm just saying.
But why and not only in bodybuilding, every category.
Oh, really?
Every category, top 2 qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah. The way I look at it too, a lot of times at the Olympia, you have, like 40 bikini competitors, 40 physique, 40 classes, and there's only 15 of the big boys.
Yeah.
I mean, people are there to see the big boys, and why not get as many there as we can,
Right. I just, because they did something like this, similar like last year, where they made, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was a little surprised. I was like, top 2? Okay, I said, and I was like, I guess maybe that was the reason for Rolly going back to Spain.
It probably definitely was. Yeah. More spots available. Let's go.
I mean, if he would have came to Texas, he probably wouldn't have qualified either.
Right.
That's
true.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting at the Arnold. A lot of things will be clear after the show, going into the Olympia.
I mean, it's going to be Olympia minus Big Ramy and Curry, really.
Yeah.
It's
and Hadi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think this is going to determine at least 2 guys out of the Arnold. At least 2 going to be top 5, top 6 in the Olympia.
Absolutely, for sure.
And possibly even 3. Possible.
Yeah.
I just talked just before I talked to James Hollingshead.
Okay.
He's a great guy, by the way. I mean,
I love James. He's a maniac.
He's humble. Yeah. He's a hard worker, and he knows what he wants. And he also thinks that he's going to make. He sees himself in the top 6. That's his goal. And he went as far as saying that, for whatever reason, and he has all the respect for everybody. He has all the respect for Brandon Curry, but he thinks he can beat Brandon. So, I mean, James is another guy that I think is going to be making a lot of noise this year. Because he brings that crazy, crisp.
Yeah, it's like that Dorian-esque type condition.
Exactly, and I mentioned Dorian's name. I said, you remind me of a Dorian. Dorian didn't have the best physique to work with. He didn't have the best body parts, but his condition was so ridiculous that you just couldn't ignore it. Doesn't matter where he would stand.
Right.
And I don't know if you follow James, but he has that same condition when he gets on stage.
Yeah, there must be something over in that UK water, man. I don't know.
There's not that many people that brought that condition. I mean, when you look at Nathan, I saw Nathan. Nathan, he's been been away from the stage for quite some time. He beat Rolly, absolutely. I think if he drops 5 to 10 pounds from where he was, and he brings that crisp condition, I think Nathan is very dangerous too. It's very, very dangerous. It's crazy because
it is. It's pretty deep. When you start talking, and we start piecing all the guys together. Who's got what's their strengths and who could actually, if they show up on point,
right?
It's deep.
Because it almost reminds me of years in the early 2000s where top 10 would be awesome. When it's so deep, the guys are so good that if you make top 10, you achieve something.
Right.
Because like I said, we got Ramy, William, Hadi, Brandon, Akeem.
To me, Akeem's a great body. He's really stepped up in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Hitting his potential.
Right.
And that's one thing you hear a lot of guys get talked about, this guy could be, and he this and that, but he's one of the guys that stepped up to his potential and is very impressive.
Yeah. But right nowadays, I can come up with 9 to 10 names that should be in the top 6.
Exactly. It's going to be who shows up and who nails it. Anything can happen.
That's crazy. If you think about it, that's really crazy. And every time I talk to someone, we sitting in the same spot. I think that's great. Think about it.
Yeah.
We already thought about the shows leading up to the Olympia to qualify. I said, somebody's going to stay home. that
Right.
that should be on that stage.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's crazy. Where's your motivation level? Well, between 1 and 10.
I'm a very self-motivated person. So it's not like I need to go look at pictures of, James or Rolly or Ian to be like, man, I got to beat this guy. Like, I know, like, hey, my goal is to bring a better version of myself every single show.
Right.
But definitely when you get kicked down, like I did, I felt in Texas, man, I'm going to get up with a chip on my shoulder and I'm coming strong. So that is a little extra motivation for me. So I kind of like that. I harness it internally and I'm like, let's go, like.
Did you ask Tyler for feedback?
Yeah.
What did he tell you?
Pretty much what I think if you compared apples to oranges with Ian and I's physiques, I think they went with a little bit more conditioned route with Ian. That's what they picked.
Okay.
And, he just said a little sharper in a couple areas and there would have been no question. So I know to me that makes, sets it up to, hey, if I do this, if I come in sharper for the Arnold and I nail my fullness, bringing the grainy look like I need to bring, I got the size and structure. If I do those things, the results are going to be there. I should get rewarded for it. So if they take notice of it, they will notice. My goal is just to bring something undeniable.
Yeah. Think about this here for a second. If you win the Arnold, or whoever wins the Arnold, instantly shoots himself into the top 4.
Absolutely.
Because William was 5th last year. Phil was 3rd. He's not there.
Yeah.
So that's instantly top 4 because you beat the 5th place finisher from last year, who would probably be 4th now because, like I said, Phil is no longer there. So there's another spot left. So you win the Arnold because they can't forget it. They can't forget you 2 weeks later at the Olympia. You'll be immediately in the first call-up.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the last few years, how the winners of the Arnolds have done really well.
Oh, yeah.
Curry went from winning the Arnold right to winning Olympia. Bonac is always locked in that top 5, top 3, winning the couple of years he won.
Yeah.
So, the last Arnold I did, I got 4th place, and I feel like, it was Bonac, Big Rami, and
first Bonac, Dexter, and then Rami.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you,
and then me. So I'm in the mix, and because
you've always been in the mix. You've always been
improved. I'm improved, and that's what bodybuilding's all about. Coming out better. Tyler said we've noticed you've improved your chest. You made improvement to your back, and those are 2 areas that I really put focus on. So we do our homework. We're going to get a good test score.
Yeah. This got to be very motivating just to say, listen, if I win the Arnold, I'm already in the mix.
Let's go. That's motivating. Absolutely.
This motivates me, and I'm not even training. That's crazy. Because when you think about it, that's how easy it is. All you got to do is just win the Arnold.
Yeah.
And it's also a test against, the newer guys. So who's going to come out on top? It's the one that's going to come out on top at the end, because how much can happen in 2 weeks,
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, because nobody's going to go from the Arnold and it's going to eat for a week and blow up. Everybody's going to stay right on the
stay on. It's not that. Yeah. I mean, most of the guys should have the discipline to be able to do what they need to do for, they could hold it together for 2 weeks.
Exactly. It's very exciting, man. It's exciting. I mean, I can't wait, man. That's really, really exciting. So, listen, are you still working as a fireman, or did you retire?
No. I retired about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it's been this long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I still have my status with the city. So if I ever wanted to go back, I could. But as far as working full time, I'm not. I miss the action and the adrenaline and the guys, but I don't miss being up 24 hours at a time and getting my ass kicked. And there was some rough nights where you're up all night and the next morning you got to get done and get at the gym and train, but you're exhausted. So.
Right. It would have been really rough at the COVID times. Huh? That would have been a rough time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you got out at the right time. I remember I did a what they call it I got on a truck one time. What you call it?
Ride along?
A ride along. I did a ride along with the fire department because I always wanted to do it. And I know guys that are in there. So one lady, and I went to the station with the guys, and I got in the truck, and I got my headphones on. I'm sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Now you get to experience what we don't know. We only hear the damn sirens and the cars going. But you don't hear these guys talking to each other in the headphones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it was so much fun, man. They talk about girls walking on the sidewalk, and it was like this.
I know what you're talking about.
I had the time of my life, I swear to God. I was like, this is so cool, man. I wish I could do that, too. I would probably, if I could turn back the time, I would probably do something like a fire department.
You know what? It was a career that allowed me to do bodybuilding full time too because of the schedule. We were 24 on, 48 off. The off days from this department, I trained. I did everything I needed to do. So it afforded me to have the, and I turned pro working on the busiest ambulance in the city of Dallas. I worked, I did several Olympias, still working full time in the fire department. So not only did I prove to myself that I could do multiple things or work under stress really well, but it definitely, like I said, it allowed me to have a prosperous career, not only in the fire side, but in bodybuilding to be able to, fund what it takes to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah. So being in the ambulance, you see a lot of crazy stuff too, huh? In Dallas.
Oh, seen it all.
A lot of shootings.
It's shootings, stabbings, deaths, car wrecks, like you name it. Like I've seen it or experienced it. So.
Yeah, well, because I watch this stuff like the first 48 hours, and there's a lot of Dallas going on.
It's funny. I actually had a call one time. We went. It was like right before Christmas. There was a bar, not like this hangout bar type place, right down the street from the station. We get called to a shooting. We get there. It's pouring rain. This dude shot like 7 times in the chest. It's madness. One of those things. So. We get this guy, he ends up not living. I mean, because he was shot 7 times. But the next shift, we get called out to the same place, and they're filming that first 48 there because they're trying to figure out who shot this dude. And the guy's family's there, and the sister's having a panic attack. So, I mean, it was just a basic medical emergency, but nothing, no shooting again. But there was one scenario, I think I was probably on one of those first 48s.
Yeah. Did you ever have, I mean, it's probably worse on weekends, but because I know the guys here, and this is what I loved about the station. They cooked for themselves, you know what I mean? And they had a little gym in there. So, just because you're there 24 hours don't mean you stay up 24 hours. I mean, I don't know about Dallas, but, there at the station where he was at, he said he gets to sleep almost every time. They have a little bit.
Yeah. Being in the big cities, they're a lot busier. You got not only your density of people is much more. There's a lot more traffic. There's just stuff always happening. So, no
6-7 hours of sleep for you at a time.
Very rare, very rare. Maybe on like a Sunday night, where people don't really want to go to the hospital or pretty quiet, But Saturday night, Friday night, you'd be surprised. Monday morning, absolutely insane. Nobody wants to go to work Monday, so they're calling the ambulance saying, "Man, I don't feel good."
That's crazy. Well, at least now you have total time to focus on bodybuilding for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I wish you nothing but the best, brother. I've been watching you since I retired. So, I mean, you've been on that stage kicking ass, and you don't have to. You have to prove nothing. Everybody knows who Steve Kuclo is. Steve Kuclo is a threat to anybody on that stage. It doesn't matter who it is. If they're not on their game, Steve Kuclo is right there. To take whatever's left. Yeah.
Chomping at the bit. Let's go.
So stay healthy, my brother. Stay injury free. I wish you all the best at the Arnold. I will be watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Orlando, my friend. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. We're gonna be there. Let's get there. Come on.
All right, for sure. All right, brother. give my love to your wife, Amanda.
I will.
And thanks for the conversation, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, DJ. Always an honor, man. Thank you.
Take care, my man.